everyone, and happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the Why We Disney podcast. I am so excited to bring you guys this episode because not only are we bringing you like the latest tips and tricks, but we are also giving you our experiences, our personal experiences in the Disney parks and resorts. And who better to give this information than our wonderful special guest? I'm not going to give it away just yet. You'll have to continue playing.
What is up, guys? Welcome back. We have another awesome episode prepared for you. Guys, every single time one of the team members goes to the parks, I cannot wait to just sit and talk about their trip. So that's what we're going to do today. My name is Kaycee, and as always, I have my amazing co-host, Kara, with me.
Hi.
And we have our editor on with us today. She just went to Disney and just got back, and I cannot wait to hear about this trip. Hey, Sydney, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, living the dream, right?
Yes, definitely.
So Sydney, remind the listeners where they can find you on your personal Instagram. I know we're always go follow the Why We Disney podcast Instagram, but we all do have personal Instagrams. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, so my personal Disney Instagram is called @DreamingDisneyMagic. So I've posted a lot about my recent trip actually, and I'm really excited about all the new content I'm putting out there.
And can we talk about your new content? Because Sydney's Instagram game went from already great to 100. The style, the flair, I'm loving every post. I think today when we're releasing this, you posted with the lanterns. Was it today or yesterday? And I was like, okay, girl, okay. Action. Oh, I just and when for our listeners too, when you're watching someone on Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube, it's not the same experience as talking to them like we're doing right now and seeing their reactions and really feeling their emotions that we're doing through the lenses. So let's just start from the beginning. Disney was born. No, I'm just kidding. So where did you go? Who did you go with? Where'd you stay? Let's get the who, what, when, where, whys down.
Okay. Wow. So I don't know if our listeners know, but I'm actually a medical student. I am almost finished with my first year. So we have very little time off, but I did get 3 days off between our winter semester and our summer semester. And since I now live in South Florida, I had to spend my extended weekend in Disney World. So we went from April 28th until May 2nd. So I was there from a Wednesday to a Sunday, and I actually met my parents there. So it was my parents' first time breaking quarantine for about 13 months. And they thought, what better way to do it than in Disney World? They said, we're going to go big or go home. So they came and met me in Orlando, and we actually stayed off property. So we just figured for the amount of days we were going to go. They're also Marriott members. So we stayed off property in a villa so that we had more room. But yeah, I was really excited to see them.
That's and where you stayed looked beautiful. So do you guys choose to stay off property more rarely, or are you an on property type of person?
So we used to growing up, we had friends who were DVC members. So we used to actually use their week and stay at Saratoga Springs a lot when I was growing up. And then we've actually used it to stay at Alani before, which is beautiful. But recently when we went, we stayed off property. We decided to do that instead of doing the resort ourselves, because we decided we wanted to save it for another special trip. And because my parents like a lot of room, they don't like just staying in a hotel room, and they figured we want to stay in a Disney resort when we have more time to enjoy the resort as well. So since it was a quick trip and our goal was to do more stuff in the parks, that's how we kind of came to the decision to stay off property.
Yeah.
I think that's something maybe as a team that we should discuss having its own episode on the pros and cons of staying on and off property, because that's not even a thought to me, honestly. It's like, I am staying at Pop Century or like, so the Disney, even the Disney Springs hotels, those really don't come to mind too often. So I'm glad you're bringing that to our attention.
Yeah, it kind of just depends on what your plans are. And we are, so we are both rope droppers and park closers. We spend like 15 hours in Disney. So we knew like we were literally only in the hotel room to sleep. And we figured if we're gonna, go all out and spend the money on a Disney resort, we're gonna do it when we can take a day or two to actually enjoy the amenities, the restaurants, everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And having those DVC friends, y'all, come on. If you're listening and you're a DVC and you want a new friend,
please,
let us know.
Please be our friend.
I swear, like some of the nicest resorts we've ever stayed at is because DVC has really helped us out. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, all of your posts, Sydney, and I mean posts as in your stories, like it was really just like going through Disney in your eyes, and I loved it. But I was trying to get a view of the crowds at that time. So can you speak on that? When you were there and when we're recording is a little bit different, but can you speak on about how the crowds were?
Yeah, so when we went, it was obviously before they took away the mask mandate outside. So everyone was still required to wear a mask at all times unless you're stationary and eating and drinking. So we felt really comfortable at Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Magic Kingdom. We thought everyone was doing a great job at keeping their mask on, staying social distance. It was more crowded than I expected it to be, but not as bad as at those parks as it was at Hollywood Studios. I would say Hollywood Studios was the most congested park. We didn't see a lot of cast members monitoring the mask and social distance rules. So we had people in line back, like right up against us without their masks on. And it was, it got, it got a little uncomfortable, especially since it was our kind of first time out of quarantine and our first time at the park since COVID happened. So I would say the crowds, it definitely felt like more than 35% capacity. So I don't know if everyone was just kind of congregating in certain areas, but I felt like I had enough space in, again, like those three parks, and Hollywood Studios was just very crowded, but we still enjoyed our time.
Yeah. I want to say too, I think like before COVID, Hollywood Studios was by far like my favorite park, but now it's like one of my least favorite parks because it is so, like you said, like congested. It's just packed. And yes, the wait times are long, but it's too busy for me.
There's no filler rides. I will say this till the end of time. There's no filler rides in Hollywood Studios. There's no Dumbo, magic carpets, teacups. And I understand that that's more of like, I say the teen park, your roller coasters, your Tower of Terror, your blah, blah, blah. So it's just like, and the lines are so long. It's all good rides. I want to ride them all. So what are we supposed to do?
I also think because two of their most popular rides being Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster kind of being tucked away in that corner on Sunset Boulevard,
right.
Like there's so little room to have a social distance line. It snakes around. You have to have cast members like spreading people apart so you can walk down the street. It gets very hectic, I would say.
Yeah. Did you guys get a boarding group?
Yes. So I can kind of go through my reservations. We were not taking a chance with that since Rise of the Resistance is my new favorite ride. Yeah. So we wanted to make sure we had as many chances as possible. And we were lucky enough to get 2 reservations to Hollywood Studios. So we did that on Saturday and Sunday of the trip, and we got boarding groups on both days.
Awesome.
We weren't lucky the first day. We didn't get it like first thing in the morning. We got it in the afternoon though. And then the second day we got it, I was waking up, Kara would be proud of me. I was waking up at like 5:30 every day, getting ready, packing all my outfits, like going to the parks an hour before opening. Every single day I was there, and I was really proud of us because usually we sleep until 9 like Kaycee sometimes and go later.
I need a nap. That's really cool. I'm glad that you guys were able to get on Rise. It is super, especially like a trip like that. Like your family hasn't been out in a while. Like I know like you hadn't been to Disney in over a year, because Disneyland was closed for so long and then you moved to Florida. So I'm glad those trips, you really need to get a boarding group, super disappointing when you don't.
Did you have any, secrets? I know there's so many people that say like, do this, do that. Like, what was your strategy on getting the boarding group? Because you are a huge Star Wars fan. So like, it was super important to you to get one.
Yeah, it was funny because we actually went on it the day before Disneyland closed back in March 2020. That was our first and last time riding it in Disneyland. And my friend Ashley, who the podcast knows as @Darling of Disney, she gave me all of the tips to get the boarding group. She told me like where in the park to go with the best Wi-Fi, because back then, like you had to be in the park by 7 a.m. to get the boarding group. So so for her, I think her tip is to like have the app completely closed out like 5 minutes before, and then open it up, like set your Apple Watch timer and open it up right at this exact time. I don't know if I followed that for the Disney World one, but I definitely had my phone, my mom's phone, my dad's phone, all of them lined up and pressed and ready to go. And it was actually my phone, I think, that got the reservations. So I don't know. I've seen a lot of people. I think it's just about luck and timing, and hopefully your clock's not slow.
Yeah.
It's funny. On my trip in whenever I went, March, April-ish, right before Easter, we stayed at Art of Animation, and we found that one of the best signal places was like the Zazu statue. So it was like all hail Zazu. So then we went to that same statue the next time and got a reservation the second time. So every time we passed the Zazu statue, it was just this ongoing joke now. Like, he is the man, all hail. Please give me all the luck. So it was great. And that really creates memories too. Like, do your Apple Watch. And we got out the military time that Disney goes by and like sat at the Sam Rock. So it's nice. Even though we all stress about it, it can create some awesome memories.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah, I always say I'm never as stressed at Disney unless I'm trying to get a boarding group. It is the most stressful experience at Disney.
It's a real thing.
And I know, Sydney, here in 2021, we're doing this bucket list on the podcast. We're all trying to scratch things off. So did you effectively, I don't know the word. Did you cross something off?
Yes, I
successfully. That's the word. I'm so sorry.
Sydney, say what I think you're gonna say.
My bucket list?
Yes, you go ahead.
What? Of the official bucket list that we posted on our Instagram towards the beginning of the year, I crossed 2 items off of my list. And so I crossed off. So the first one was resort hopping. I had never been resort hopping before. So we took like an actual day to split up our park reservations, and we did the whole thing. We drove to Disney Springs, we took the bus, we took the Skyliner, went to all the different like resorts on the boardwalk. So that was one thing. And my second thing was trying the tachos.
Yes. I literally just pulled it up on Instagram. I was like, what was it? The tachos.
I thought you were gonna say trying Joffrey's. You jumped up.
That wasn't on my like official bucket list that we posted, but it was on my personal bucket list, and I did do that too.
It's fun. How were the tachos?
The tachos are amazing. They were really great. We had them for lunch on our first Hollywood Studios day, and it like came at the perfect timing because we needed to sit down and drink water and take a break, and the tachos were just amazing. they're the ultimate comfort food, Kara.
Oh, they're a good break snack. Like so good. If you're not wanting like a full meal, let's split that between two people. It's the best.
Mhm.
Man.
What? No. I mean, sure. Yeah. My touches. No, just
No
kidding.
one can share with me.
Oh my gosh. So it sounds like you did some new things, which is awesome, which is going to lead us into our new segment that we have here on the podcast. So of course we want to talk and, get to know what you did. Like here's some random things that you might not say in your original story. So I had this really random idea of I saw the word new, and for some reason I was like, something new. Okay. And I was like, well, something old, duh. And I was like, something borrowed. And I was like, something blue. Oh, wait, that's wedding.
Mhm.
So that's not going to work. But what works is something chewed. So here our new segment is something old, something new, something borrowed, and something chewed. So we would love to know, what is something old that you did, something that, brings you memories and, you've done multiple times.
So something old, well, besides like all of my favorite rides that I always have to hit up is we have a tradition. So we are huge park hoppers. And so we always start our day at whatever park, but we always end up at Epcot. So we don't actually do a specific day dedicated to Epcot. We actually go to Epcot every day we're in the parks. So our first day we went to Magic Kingdom, and then around dinner time we park hop to Epcot. And we love the Food and Wine Festival, but right now they had the Flower and Garden Festival, and it was our first time doing that. But we use that as an opportunity to go around to the different booths and try all the different food. So we did that on Wednesday. The next day we went to Animal Kingdom. We had to take a midday nap because it was so hot and exhausting. And then we again park hop to Epcot. And I didn't think we would do it on our Hollywood Studios days, but we ended up doing it both days as well. So we always end up in Epcot and eat dinner there. And it's a great way to try all the different festival foods.
Park hopping.
Yeah, it's a tradition.
Yes, love that. And what is something new? Now we talked about, the tachas and whatever, but what's else is something new?
Well, again, like Flower and Garden Festival, that was pretty new to us. But I would say the ultimate new thing that we did was completed the 4 parks in one day challenge. So on our last day, it was very spontaneous. We were just planning on going to Hollywood Studios, doing our favorite rides, and then park hopping to Epcot, trying the last of the festival food. And then we were gonna like call it a day early because we had to pack and get ready for our flight the next day. But anyway, we went to Hollywood Studios, rode our, Rise of the Resistance, Tower of Terror, rock and roller coaster. And then my mom, who loves Flight of Passage, decided that we should park hop to Animal Kingdom and go to Flight of Passage. So we went to Animal Kingdom just for that ride. And then we thought like, oh, we still want to go to Epcot, but like, we might as well just go to Magic Kingdom first and take a detour. If we're gonna, like, why would you stop at 3 parks in one day, So, so we went to Magic Kingdom just for Mine Train, since we didn't get to do that our first day. And then we ended up in Epcot, and I got to try the Violet Lemonade, and then we called it a day.
Awesome. That's so good. That's a bucket list of mine eventually, one day, all 4 parks.
It's hard when you don't like park hopping though.
It will stress me out. It'll only stress me out because I'm not like in control of the transportation. I'm like, the bus should be here now. I'm losing 10 minutes.
Yeah, we rented a car, so it's easier to get around that way, obviously.
Makes sense. All right, so we did something old, something new, something borrowed. So what have you found from a friend or influencer or media that you were like, okay, we need to add this to the trip?
Well, this is where my special friend Kaycee's recommendation of Joffrey's comes in, of course. She's all excited. So I borrowed Kaycee's suggestion of trying the Mission to S'mores latte in Tomorrowland. It was like literally when we go to Magic Kingdom, we head straight to Tomorrowland, and we were like, my mom even was anticipating it. She said, "Are we gonna get that latte that Kaycee always talks about?" And I said, "You know we are." So we rode Carousel of Progress, and we said, "Okay, we're right here. Let's do a coffee break." So that's something that I borrowed from Kaycee, and I guess I could say I borrowed tachos from Kara.
Yeah.
It's all good. And then the last thing we have is something chewed. So was there any new drink? You talked about the violet lemonade, but was there any new food that you tried other than the tachos?
Oh my gosh. I feel like there was so much new food. Every festival food I tried was new, I would say. Like I tried the flatbread that Kaycee was talking about. I really loved that. I tried the cinnamon roll bites from Sunshine Griddle. And then their shrimp and grits, those were really great. So I took a lot of those suggestions from Flower and Garden, and I thought those were all really yummy. But I think the ultimate new thing that I tried or chewed was the Kakamora float from Magic Kingdom. And like I'm a huge pineapple and coconut person, so I always love Dole Whip, but I've never tried the coconut Dole Whip before. And that float was like the best float I've ever had in Disney. And it came with a chocolate cake pop too. So that was yummy.
Is it that little figure?
It's like it looks like a little coconut with a face on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then it comes with like pineapple juice, and yeah, it's really good.
Yo, I'm starving right now. Like, can we not talk about food? Like,
I know.
I need a snack. Someone give me a snack. I need a snack.
I wish we could Uber Eats Dole Whip.
I know.
Like, how great would that be?
That'd be life-changing.
Do you guys have a Menchie's near you? Do you know what Menchie's is?
No.
No? Oh, Menchie's is a frozen yogurt place, and they sell pineapple Dole Whip. So it doesn't taste as good as in the park.
Is it the same or?
It's pretty much the same, but it doesn't have that like extra pixie dust of eating it in the parks. But if you need your Dole Whip fix, that's where I get it from.
Man, I've never even heard of that place. Darn.
Oh, I know they have some in California, Arizona. They have one actually right across the street from me here. So
I was about to say, is it a West Coast thing? But no.
No, they have here too.
Dang. Well, Sydney, this was so fun. Thank you for coming on and just sharing about your trip. Like, truly, it's almost like we were there. So thank you for just taking the time. And you're in medical school. Like, who has the time?
I was long anticipating this trip. I like planned all my outfits a month ahead of time. I had so many outfit changes too. Each day I kid you not, I brought 20 pairs of ears.
Believe it.
You're over exaggerating. 20?
No, it was 20.
1B. 2-0.
I wore them all in pictures, so.
Yeah. And your content is super pretty right now. Like all of the outfits. I'm like, God, I don't remember her having that many days in the parks, but.
That's what I'm saying. I'm literally, as we're talking, scrolling through it. And I'm like, I don't. And then, can we just hold on before we end this episode? Can we talk about your park till I drop a reel? Swipe. It's so cute. If you guys haven't looked at the reel yet, I can't play it on here. I don't know if the listeners will be able to. If you're viewing on
perfect.
This one, yeah. It's so creative. I love Sydney's style. I love her flair. She's just like killing it with this reel.
Who took those videos? Your mom?
So yeah, my mom is my official Instagram mom. She's my photographer, my videographer, director, everything. So yeah, she's the best. And so thanks, Mom. A little shout out to her because I know she's going to be listening to this. But yeah, and thank you to my parents for putting up with all my outfit changes because I really wanted to match the content. I brought like 6 outfits to Magic Kingdom. I'm not even kidding. So
my max is 2. Like I can't do more than 2. I can't. Well, shout out to your parents, really, and happy Mother's Day to her, because while we're recording this episode, it is May. So happy Mother's Day, Mom. Thanks for being a great mama.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sydney. You're the best. So guys, if you haven't already, please make sure that you follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our newsletter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on TikTok. Geez Louise, all of the things, we have it all. Please. And also I wanted to mention too, if you are a small shop and you would like to sponsor an episode of the Why We Disney podcast, we have slots available for June. So hit us up, DM us, or email us. We would love to hook you up with that. But until next time, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We love you, and we hope you have an awesome rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.